Beautiful day, folks. My friends, just out enjoying a quick outing. Not planning on hiking too far. Basically just out here to decompress from some recent drama. But nothing like being out in nature and getting that reset in. I do plan on hiking just a few miles. Get some lunch in the woods and enjoy myself. Glad to have you guys all here with me. I'm walking along the Shenango River. Like I said, not far from home. Just out here taking it all in, as we usually do here on the channel. All right, folks. Let's get a move on. So, folks, I wanted to bring up one of the things that's got me a little bit stressed out today, which I'm not going to harp on too much. And that is it's more of a question to any of you viewers. I don't know if I've become a different person, but social media has become so toxic, and I mean, it's kind of gotten to a point where we're just filled with negativity. It's easy to turn on any avenue on the internet, not even just social media apps, but also YouTube. I mean, I'm a huge fan of certain channels. There's quite a few channels that I watch on the regular, and I do try to keep up with the news of what's going on, you know, with our country and everything. But there's so much negativity going on, and I've gotten to the point where I've become a person who don't care to hear it anymore. I mean, everybody has to stay in the know. You know what I mean? We need to know what's going on in our country, but so much negativity. I guess we need to just learn how to balance that crap, you know, so we have it not interfere with our inner peace. Like I said, there's a few channels that I frequent, you know. I'm a subscriber of a few that I really like. And for the most part, their content is pretty wholesome. They do not talk about politics and that. But then there's some things that I click on habitually to, you know, to catch opinions and views. That's just not healthy for me. Some people are able to filter that out, go about their way throughout their day and not have it bother them, but me, I just don't care to have that. But yeah. Anyways, folks, I don't know about you, what your opinion is. Maybe comment down below. You can let me know if you're a like-minded person who seeks out nature when you need to decompress from life's struggles, life's drama, and all that. Yeah, comment down below. Well, folks, it's 84 degrees. A little hot out here. Nothing unbearable. Humidity is more of my complaint. But it don't matter. I'll take what I can get. Any day on the trail, any trail for that matter, is a happy time for me. It's a little after 2 p.m. Like I said, this will be a short one. Gonna stop, have a late lunch, maybe some coffee. I doubt it though. Already drank too much, if there's such a thing as too much coffee. I've already had plenty, I think, for the day. My plan is to get in, eat, get out. Got some errands we have to run, my wife and I. Onward we go. Friends, I wanted to let you all know the plan that got screwed up this week was I was to be out on the Allegheny River in Pennsylvania, and I wasn't quite sure of my camp setup arrangement. I was going to tent camp or hammock, preferably hammock, but the people that I was going to be staying with, some in-laws, never contacted me. I should have reached out to them, but I didn't want to feel like I was, you know, begging them or hounding them or whatever, so that trip didn't happen. But that trip is coming very soon. I'm still planning on another kayaking trip, and I think now I feel a little incomplete from the last kayak trip there on the Clarion from last week. I only did a 28-mile stretch. It was one leg of it that was, I guess I found out after, considered recreational. And right where I took out at the, I believe it was called the Pale Whale, my nephew had informed me that I did the recreational stretch. And where I took out thereafter was the scenic stretch. Go figure. So my plan is to get back down to the Clarion and do the scenic, because I'm all about the views. It's probably my age. I'm older. I ain't into the chaos and all that. There's a lot of drunk people on the river. More power to you. I ain't judging. I had that phase in my life. I'm no longer that guy. But most of it was peaceful and quiet, but it had its moments where there were some people I couldn't escape. Just being drunk and belligerent, and as I mentioned in that video on that adventure, it's hard to enjoy what I consider to be fun and peaceful when you have that going on. So my plan, like I said, I'm going to get back out there hopefully very soon. Maybe I'll plan that this week, this next coming weekend. Take you folks on the scenic route, scenic leg of the Clarion. That'll be a good time. Then I'll be better prepared because I won't leave my camera equipment behind, my flashlight behind, cell phone charging equipment behind. Yeah, I had a lot of things that I forgot. That made that trip not just an adventure like all the ones we go on, but it made it dangerously challenging. I had to put up my camp, set up my camp in the pitch black. I did not have a flashlight. I had to spare the battery on my cell phone. It was at 30% when I went to bed. And then if you watch that video, you'll find out that my phone took on water. So I had no charging capabilities from the battery case that my phone always rests in. So yeah, it was not a situation I like to be in. I don't like that we depend on technology so much that, you know, we get that crutch where we have to depend on it, but at the same time, when you're out there alone and you don't have any communication, no battery to power said communication, you know, and navigation was limited. I had to turn the phone off and on every time I wanted to check, you know, my progress on the river. So I just don't care to be in that kind of scenario, and I don't recommend anybody ever go out there without having the means to navigate properly. Trail's busy right now. Got a lot of bikers on the path. Very kind people. So that's not a complaint. Just have to interrupt my recording out of respect for them, their privacy. But as I was saying, always be prepared when going out. Don't become a statistic, especially when you're in an area where you may need to call for rescue, which that instance, I guess you couldn't call for rescue. But I enjoyed my trip. I do feel like I bit off more than I can chew with the 28 miles that I rode, paddled. Know your limitations, folks. But I'm not going to promise I won't do it again. If I die doing what I love, well, there you go. So, folks, I am headed back to the truck on a much slower pace. I'm gonna skip the full-blown, lunch in the woods. I do have water on me. I am keeping hydrated, but it is getting late in the day. It is 2:20, and I had a quick pace when I was coming into this and walked a little further than I had planned. I want to make sure that I take care of my obligations and responsibilities at home, and seeing that I have to be in bed by 7 o'clock because I work midnights, I need to get back home so I could head on out to Ohio it's where we go for our shopping. Beautiful scenic riverside walk, folks. A lot of trees blocking the view, probably from your line of sight, but I am enjoying it. So folks, I would like to take a minute to thank you, each of you who have subscribed. It means a lot to me. Obviously that helps anybody's channel. If I could get everybody that views my adventures, to like and subscribe, that would be great. Those of you who haven't done that yet, I would appreciate it and be gratefully thankful if you would. But maybe my channels aren't your cup of tea, which is fine. I've watched many channels where I wasn't into, their content, their topic of conversation, and that happens. Can't please everybody. But anyways, I sure appreciate all of you. I've quickened my pace. I'm trying to get out of here a little quicker now. Can't tell, you probably can't see it on the camera, but damn, the mosquitoes are bad. It's very musty, moist, and just the humidity and everything in the shade and the water. It's providing the most ideal situation for mosquitoes. And I have become their meal. So I'm trying to get on up out. Don't know if West Nile is still a thing, but man, they're having a feast with me. Oh, folks, man, if I could just live in nature, if we could just live in nature 24/7 and not be a slave to the system, slave to the industry, just be a cog in the gears. We don't get enough of this. We don't get enough time to ourselves. How do we escape it all, It's so important for each of us to have, time for ourselves. Just peace. When do we get it? I think we need to revolt. I think we need to rebel. we wouldn't last long. Bills, food, sustaining life. I don't know though, folks. It's hard to argue with that. It's hard to argue with all of this. It's what I live for. That and my wife and kids. I'm a family man. I enjoy my time with them, and unfortunately they're not into the outdoors. I mean, much less stopping and taking it in and just having moments of peace, you know? Even if I could get them all to come out, or just one of them, that would mean a lot to me. But don't get me wrong, I like my solo adventures, which are pretty much 99% of them. I like my peace, you know? I like the quiet. If I was to be out here with anybody, that would probably mean, unless they're like me, they're going to want to talk. Now, if I wasn't recording and documenting this adventure, I wouldn't be talking. Which, by the way, folks, I am planning on doing, I forget what they call it, type of video. What do they call those silent videos? SNR, some kind of sound therapy, I don't know what the heck. But I am planning on doing some silent adventures. If you would, maybe comment down below if you like those kind of adventures on, you know, other people's content. Are you into the silent videos? Just having the views, the peace, the quiet, the sounds of your footsteps. Oh, look, somebody lives up there. Oh, that's pretty cool. But yeah, folks, I think I've been thinking about it quite often. So my plan is to do some silent adventures. Just the sounds of nature. One of the people that I subscribe to on their YouTube, they have a separate channel for that. So maybe I'll do a separate channel for that as well. Not to copy, but sometimes I just like to not be gabby, despite this adventure. Well, folks, I am back to the trailhead, which means I'll be hopping in the truck and heading out, taking a real short trip back home. I thank you for joining me on this adventure, folks. Whether you subscribe or not, whether you agree with my content, whether you find it amusing, entertaining, if you're just a passerby, I still thank you for stopping and watching this video. For those of you who do enjoy what I do, please like, comment, subscribe. I can't tell you how much it means to me and helping my channel grow. All right, folks, let's hop in the truck and get home. Thank you so much. So as a reminder, folks, before I wrap it up, be expecting one this week. Unless life gets in the way, I plan on being back out, hopefully on another kayak adventure. It might not be the Clarion. That's what I'm shooting for. The scenic leg of that section of river I was on. If it doesn't happen, there is another area local, a lot closer than where I went on the Clarion, and I will be heading out on that if the Clarion doesn't pan out. So folks, I guess that's it. That wraps it up for this adventure. Please like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you on the next one.